Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And tonight, our second guest is from Camp Elso. I have with me Sprinna Vasa-Brown, also known as Sprinna. It's a pleasure to have you here, Sprinna.
Thank you.
Now, you are the founder and executive director of Camp Elso, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and we met at an event earlier this year. Actually, I think I'd met you before quite a while ago, but I was very intrigued about this because I had never heard of Camp Elso. Tell our viewers, if you would, exactly what it is you do and what your mission is.
Yeah, so Elso stands for Experience Life Science Outdoors, and we are a summer program. We're focused on children of color and giving them an engaging outdoor summer science experience where they can experience science outdoors.
Pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
So it really is the brainchild from myself and the co-founder, Dr. Kellyanne Richardson. We met at college and we wanted to create a program that would positively affirm the identity of Black and brown youth and encourage their self-confidence, and help them to feel like they could pursue careers in science fields and to take science classes in college and even to go to college. And I'm also a parent, and so when we started thinking about, okay, how can we implement this program, we decided that a summer program would be the best format.
And how long ago was this started?
So we came up with the idea in December of 2014, and this past summer in July is when we actually launched our first program, the Explorers Day Camp.
Still pretty new then.
It's brand spanking new.
And how did it go this first summer?
It went very, very well.
Good.
Yeah.
So why children of color? I know that there's less children of color that are attending college, but the sciences, is that something that is traditionally not a field that they're going into?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly why. So children of color and young adults of color are underrepresented in science fields and in science majors. I think less than 2% of PhDs are going to people of color. Kellyanne, Dr. Richardson, she actually has a PhD in biochemistry. Wow. And it's interesting because we would talk over the years, and as she was pursuing her undergraduate degree and then her PhD, she found that the higher she went in education, the more scarce the people of color became. Wow. And so we wanted to create a program that would inspire more kids to even think and see themselves as future science leaders. Right. But we knew that the best way to do this was to make it a fun program and to start with kids at a young age. Yeah. So really the core part of our program is inspiring scientific thinking, which is teaching the kids how to ask questions, how to create a hypothesis, test it out, and then to look at those results.
So is your background in science as well?
My undergraduate degree is in biology, although I have a major in communications and leadership studies. So yeah.
Perfect combination for this undertaking, I think. So how do you inspire kids to pursue this? I mean, I know you're saying they go out into nature, and you can and you know they're forming hypotheses, if I can say it, hypotheses. What do you do? What do you do when you take them out? I mean, are these kids that are urban kids, you know, just inner city kids mostly? They're not kids that grow up out in the rural area that are used to be out in nature all the time, I assume.
Right. So most of our kids came from the Portland metro area, diverse schools across the city, also Hillsborough, Gresham, Vancouver, Washington. So yes, very urban. Although Portland is unique, and part of the reason we wanted to start the program here, and we do hope to grow, is because of the relationship that Portland has with the outdoor spaces and the access to outdoor spaces so close into the city.
Right. We have some great parks and greenways. And,
yes, yeah. So we wanted to take advantage of those spaces. And so the way that we do it is we go on field trips every day, and we spend the majority of the day outside. So we went to an ancient forest, we went to a wetland, we went to a prairie and to an urban farm. And so we kind of incorporated a little bit of science at the same time, having fun, doing a field trip, taking a hike, and we also kind of planted the seed about those careers. So we were led by a naturalist at times, and so we would talk with the naturalist about what she does and how she got into that path and how do you become a naturalist. The same thing we did with the park rangers.
That sounds great. I think we have some pictures. Maybe we can take a look at those.
Yeah.
Can explain what we're seeing here for the. This is part of the camp, I assume.
Yes.
And where is
so this is at Hoyt Arboretum. We are just getting ready to break up into some groups and start to take our hikes. One of the, this is at Oaks Bottom wetland area. I think the kids were looking down. I think we saw a group of ducks. And so what we do is we try to take advantage of the nature around us and really encourage the kids to observe and to ask questions. And so, you know, we would point out the ducks and then we talk about the different types of feathers ducks have and how they stay on top of the water and how they float and what type of animal they are. Are they mammals? And kind of let the kids ask questions and then we encourage those questions. This is Quamish Prairie. This place is operated by Metro, and it's an awesome place because all the green that you see here is a plant called camas, and it is a first food, and it was replanted. They've been replanting Quamish Prairie with this indigenous first food, and so the kids got to learn about the connection between Native Americans, indigenous people, and the land, and so they played games like predator prey. They did scavenger hunts and had to collect different things, and then they just got free time to explore. And as you can see, these group of boys are very engaged, and who would have thought you take away a device, there's no tablets, no screens, and they are clearly having a great time.
Where is this? I mean, where is that located?
Yeah, Quamish Prairie is out in Sherwood, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you venture out a ways,
yes,
don't you?
yeah. So all of our field trips were at least within an hour. I love these two pictures. The young lady on the left is biting into a nice, juicy, organic, local nectarine, which was donated by one of our healthy foods partners, Cherry Sprouts, which is a food stand. And the photo on the right shows some of our kiddos digging in the children's garden out at Zanger Farms. You know, we want to make sure that we're also teaching kids about their carbon footprint and the relationship between them and the land and how they need to tend to the land.
I wondered about that.
Yeah.
You're making them into good citizens as you know, our world here, good world citizens.
Yeah. And this is just a group photo
cute.
as we're having fun. I think this was one of those 90-degree days this summer. So clearly you can see some of the kids are just like laid out, like, oh, we've been hiking all over.
So some of these kids are pretty young.
Oh yeah. So our Explorers Day camp was for rising kindergarten through second graders.
Wow.
But you know, this goes to show you that you can take kids that are super young and their minds are still developing. They're very inquisitive. They're excited. They want to learn. And you can teach them these kind of complicated concepts, but really take it down to its foundation. This is us also at Zanger Farms, and they are getting ready to try a patty pan squash, I believe, and they just tried it raw. And I was a little bit hesitant because I'm like, raw squash? I don't know if I want to taste that or not. But they all took a piece and they loved it.
Really?
And so, you know,
There's
you
something
present,
for us to learn from that,
right. So if you present children with healthy food and with vegetables, they'll try it. It might take a few times, but you know, they'll try it. I love this photo.
What a great picture.
The kids are looking at the forest ranger who is holding a banana slug in her hand.
Ooh.
This is out at Tryon Creek, and they got to use binoculars. And one of my favorite moments was when all the kids had to get really, really quiet and listen really hard to hear the different sounds around them. And for 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-olds, you can imagine how hard it is to just be quiet. But they did for about 2 seconds. The whole group was quiet. They heard a couple birds, and and then of course somebody like laughed or screeched or something, and this is just a group shot where we're having fun.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, Monica, as a mom, I have to say some of the things that were important to me that we built into this program was making the cost affordable so that we could have socioeconomic diversity, and so that there could be access for low-income families as well.
Good.
We also provide lunch and snack with one of our other healthy foods partners, Green Zebra Grocery. And the program is for an entire day. You know, when you have kids who are in kindergarten, first, second grade, it's hard to find a summer program that lasts for the entire day versus just a half a day or a part of a day.
So is it a week-long camp?
Yes, so they're week-long experiences.
That's great. And those are really important points. You know, we can't say prices on the air, but if it's affordable, you're providing them food. You know, you meet at a central location, I assume, and then they're just have to pick them up at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Exhausted, and the kids have had a great day.
And what makes our program kind of unique is that we partner with a number of different community partners. These community partners help us have access to some of the resources of mainstream environmental organizations. Some of our partners were the Audubon Society of Portland, who brought their education team. We had a visit from Peregrine Falcon and their handler, and the kids loved that, of course.
I'm sure.
NAYA, the Native American Youth and Family Center, that's who put us in touch with Metro, who could help us get access to Quamish Prairie, a new urban space that was coming on board. Also, we have a number of different partners as well.
And you can't do it without partners.
Yes.
Good community partners, so that's great. And I understand you're looking for a new space,
We are looking for a new space. So this past year, we were based out of the center, which is a coalition-run community center, and the convening partner is Catlin Gable School, also Kairos PDX, a charter school, and iUrban Teen. And so we were able to use the space for free, which is awesome, but we do need to grow. We do need access to a kitchen, a green space. So if any of your viewers have a space that they would like us to use, to donate, we would love to have that resource.
Thinking maybe it's available, let you know, and you can check it out.
For next summer. And one of our other partners I want to make sure to mention is the Dreamer School. I Have a Dream Oregon and the Dreamer School. They have a phenomenal, innovative program where they bring around these wraparound services and community partnerships to this school that has high needs, high poverty. And so we were able to bring some of their kiddos on a bus load or van actually every day to be able to participate in this program. And so, you know, this is an awesome organization.
Yeah, that's good. So I know we're just about out of time, but tell me, what kinds of things do you need to keep your organization going?
Because we are small, we run lean finances, so any type of donations, obviously. We are also looking for volunteers, so people who have a passion for equity and inclusion, specifically around STEM and environmental education, teachers, people who want to be hands-on with the kids, but we also are looking to grow our board, and we're looking for people who can do grant writing and fund development as well.
That leaves it wide open because there's a lot of opportunities there for volunteering. And the kids themselves, what ages do you accept for your camp?
So the Explorers Day Camp is for rising kindergartners through second graders. And depending on how our funding flushes out for the coming year, we'll be prepared to launch our Adventurers Camp, which is for third through fifth graders as well.
So if people are interested for next summer, because we're done with the summer now. Your website will have the information when you get that all set up as far as
and that's campelso.org. And viewers can like us on Facebook, follow us there as well.
That sounds great. Is there anything else that, or tell me this, are there any kids that you really were surprised at their reaction to things, or kids that you really felt like especially benefited from this or got a lot out of it, just you know, just from observing them?
Yeah, I would just say I think one of the funny things that happens is because we live in a technology age, the kids were really reluctant and hesitant to get their hands dirty. And one of the activities that we did was to create seed balls. And so after we had a conversation about the different types of seeds and you know how seeds come and the different sizes and everything, we actually brought out this big bin of dirt, and the kids got to put their hands in and make these seed balls. And the kids were so hesitant hesitant, and you could see
I'm gonna
their
get in trouble.
anxiety. Yeah, and they just didn't want to get dirty.
Yeah.
And so it was so good for them to have that experience of getting their hands dirty, and pretty soon they were having fun, and dirt was flung everywhere. And one other thing I wanted to mention too is our camp counselors are also young adults of color, and so we have a camp counselor inclusion model, which kind of it's providing a leadership opportunity, a leadership development opportunity for young adults who are in college or in high school to come and to mentor younger children to practice their own education, to learn about science and to help teach science to these kiddos as well, and to kind of implement our programming.
That's a great opportunity.
Yeah. And it's a paid job. It's a paid job. It's a competitive paid position, so that's what a lot of our funding goes towards in addition to scholarships.
Even if it weren't, it would still be something good for a resume, you know. So even if it were just a volunteer thing, it would be, I shouldn't say just a volunteer thing because volunteers are so valuable, but that's a great thing to have on a resume. So if somebody's interested in that, that would be great. So they would just contact you sometime during the year and let you know they were able to do that, because that takes just a little bit of the time out of their summer, right? Or perhaps there'd be some time building up to that to get ready for that.
Beforehand and everything.
But it's a summer thing. Okay. Anything else we need to know about Camp Elso? Just support it.
Support it. Spread the word. Because we are a young organization. We're new. Outreach by word of mouth is the best way.
And you want more kids to be participating next year?
We do. We want to grow the program, and we hope to be able to expand it to different schools and to grow our community partnerships as well.
Great. I'll do my best to spread the word.
Great.
It sounds like a wonderful organization. Thanks very much.
Yes.
I appreciate it. So do check it out, campelso.org.
Yes.
And you can volunteer, you can donate, you can become a community partner. Check it out and find out all the details, because it's a great service for the youth of our community. And don't go away, we have more coming up in Community Hotline.
Documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready Camera 1.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready Camera 2.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready Camera 3. Take 3.
To be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.